Okay, for the top now, there's another way of doing it, and that's just cutting a strip. You know, the girls can cut the strip, or you can cut the strip. And you can just cut a long strip, and what you want to do is take the strip and put it around the waist, kind of like that, and then bring it up over the arm, and then again they're going to wrap the fabric to, it's about like here, and then just kind of tie the fabric off and just leave some of this showing like this. So you'll have a little bit of a sleeve with some of the fabric hanging down like that. And that's really cool. Okay, you do the same thing on the other side. You wrap around. And then tie. Again, tie. Now, if you feel that's too complicated, they can also glue the fabric on. And again, this is just one way of doing the arm. There are other ways that you could do it as well. And when I make my angels, I actually make an outfit, and I make the outfit completely different than the fairies. So I'll be doing a series of that when I start doing my angels for the holidays, and I'll be doing a tutorial for the angels on how I do them. But that's kind of how you do the outfit for this type of doll. As you notice, the strips aren't even. They don't have to be because it's a fairy. Or it's like, and if it's a goddess, you can do the same thing. Now, if it's a goddess, you can also take and use the same method of wrapping. Instead of, let's see, you could actually do, say, a piece of fabric that is not quite this big, but something that's a little bit smaller than that. Just take a big piece of fabric like that, and then have the girls just kind of randomly wrap the doll body like this. Just kind of wrap it. You can do just kind of a little wrapped outfit. They don't have to do any sewing or anything. They can even take the fabric and wrap it the way they want to. Like that, and then they can secure it by maybe they could sew it right here, or they could secure it by gluing just a little bit of glue there, or they can also wrap the whole entire thing and then take something that's like a smaller piece of fabric and just wrap that around for the waist like a belt. Okay, so that's another way of doing the doll. And okay, so now we've got the outfit on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some fibers on the feet. And this isn't absolutely necessary, but it's kind of cool. So I went to Michael's and I got some eyelash fabric, or eyelash fibers. And this is really cool to just kind of finish the doll. So I take and I just kind of take and go around the foot. And I don't do it all the way up the leg. It's basically just the little foot. And then I tie that off too. It doesn't have to be this long either, so it's easier to use. You probably should use it shorter. Do it shorter. Okay, so there's one. And then I take the other leg and I do the same exact thing on the other side. And this also covers up a little bit of the pipe cleaner if it's exposed. And it just makes a cute little shoe. And then again, like I say, this is a fairy, not a goddess, so it kind of depends on what you want the goddess to wear as far as her shoe. There's different things you can do to create shoes too. You can get little tiny like rose petals and just glue rose petals on their shoe, like dried rose petals or dried flowers to make a shoe. You know, you could do that, or you could put beads, you know, glue little beads on to create a shoe. Put shells, you can actually glue little shells on their feet to make a shoe. There's different things you can do to create a shoe, but this case, being that this is the fairy, there's her little shoes. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the hair. Now, what I use different things. You can use just plain yarn, you know, yarn that you get at the yarn place. If you have some yarn, that's great too. You can also use embroidery thread. And you can also use wool that's been dyed. Now, this has been dyed, some of it's been dyed with Kool-Aid. And if you're interested in that recipe, you can either get it on Google, or I will post it on my blog. And I did some of this wool with Kool-Aid. Okay, but for most part, this wool here actually I got at a farm. It was already dyed that color, and some of it's Shetland pony, and some of it is sheep. I'm not sure which is which, but anyway. Okay. So now, in this case, you need strong glue, and the best glue for this is tacky glue. And I think really the best thing to do is use a toothpick rather than a brush, is because you can actually get just enough glue on the top of the head. One thing you need to do, though, is clip that off. You need to clip the pipe cleaner thing off so that it's not so thick on top, and also put just a little bit of glue on the neck so that you can put the head back on and it won't fall off like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the toothpick and put some glue on top of the head. And I'm going to take and put the hair right on top of the head like this. Now, if she's bald on the back, you can just pull it down. Doesn't need a lot of hair. She doesn't really need a lot of hair, and I think we won't use this. I think that's not really something I'm interested in. Now, if you also want to put some embellishments on, you can use metallic thread, beads, wire, again, little tiny rose petals, flower petals, shells. There's lots of ways of doing the embellishments for the hair. And I've used fibers, like eyelash fiber, or I've done stuff with little tiny pieces of like this stuff here. This is really cool to use for the top part of the hair. And it depends on what you're making. If you're making angels, then, especially for the holidays, you'll be a little more glitzy. But, you know, if you're making a goddess, depends on what you want, you know, as far as what the outfit is going to look like. Okay, so you've got the basic idea for the doll, and I'm going to turn the camera off now, and I'm going to do a close-up of the doll and post that image. If you have any questions as to how I did this doll, you can contact me at joyofart@msn.com, or you can call me at 910-528-7283. I am in Southern Pines, North Carolina,